besides telling people, don't worry so much about failure, is that you stick with anything, man, it's going to be some form of development, and something that's going to happen. But you have to care. If you don't care enough to put those videos together, if you don't care enough to give people this solid information, it's the concept now that I use that, it's like eating food and not defecating. It's like getting information and reading or getting laced with some game from somebody and you don't circulate it outside of yourself. That's a form of mental and spiritual constipation. And as we should know, with any constipation or anything that doesn't circulate, it dies.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing as above, so below. So just like defecation, when we eat food and try not to go to the bathroom, drink fluids and try not to urinate, it's the same concept as taking in information and not giving it to people. Some people don't do it based on they don't want someone to come up. But again, everyone has their own lane.
Yeah.
Somebody that you might give the information to might come up faster than you did financially. Maybe.
That's a fact.
Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
Because the name of the game is lane. It's staying in your lane, staying focused on what you're doing, but circulating and helping people along the way, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer in everything circulates, everything vibrates, everything comes back to you. Everything is a form of cause and effect.
Yeah.
And the name of the game is, creating new causes that produce new effects and greater effects that you've already seen.
And that's the thing is, man, it's enough out here for everybody. I seen a stat that's like 1.3 billion people on Instagram or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? And we hear the saying "crab in a barrel," but I think it's actually Jay or somebody has said, that's because crabs ain't supposed to be in the barrel in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a thing. You that's one thing that one of my big homies here. He helped me out in a lot of some of the real estate. He helped me get in the real estate game. Got a couple of my first investment properties was through his help. But this dude, he owned half of the city, man. But his thing is he never retains that information. He gets it. He gives it, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he'll tell you every time before he's about to, before you go to the closing table, all I ask that you do is just give some information out, man.
Ain't that something, man? And I bet not knowing this brother, but I bet his life, he feels a certain amount of fulfillment from that. And it doesn't, sometimes it don't have nothing to do with money because a lot of times we get caught up in the money thing. Yeah. Which is what we need to pay our bills and do what we need to do. But at the end of the day, going back to the death concept, is it really real? Is it really something that should just be strived for? Should your paycheck just be the only thing to be strived for? Yes and no. It holds a great polarity of yes and no because you need it because it's just as important as oxygen. You need your money. You got to pay your bills. You got to, take care of your children and do what you have to do. But at the same time, the other side is, what about energy? Energy is money and time. So do you put energy into yourself and what you want to do? And this is what Dame and I were really trying to implement and bring forth. And that's why a lot of times you didn't hear me say anything because I wanted to give people a close vision of someone that made millions of dollars. Because I always, when I would leave Dame and Jay and Diggs and I would be sitting there like listening to all this information, I used to come back to the shop and try to relay it to the barbers in my shop.
Yeah.
And when you relaying information, I couldn't tell them everything I heard, but they were just amazed. Like some people were amazed, some people were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But, that was my concept and why I wanted to always bring and circulate that information to people so they can get a glimpse of what it really takes to be an entrepreneur. And more than anyone else, our people, Black people, it's for all people. It's for all people. I was doing it, because I love all people, but I have to keep it real. And it was for my people because I know that, on purpose, we've been left in the dark on purpose.
That's a fact.
Given the light of information a lot of times. And when we do get the light of information, it's through things that a lot of us don't like to do, which is reading. A lot of us don't like to read. A lot of us don't like to listen to those 2-hour seminars or we don't go to school unless it has something to do with a job. And so
or getting rich quick.
I want to show them firsthand. This guy, had his GED. This guy never went to college, but he had a concept that he wanted to achieve with his brothers, and he did it. Word. Regardless of how it turned out, Jay can't talk about him, and he can't talk about Jay. Word. You know, Word. I mean, you know, they might say something here and there about each other, be feeling some kind of way, but it's
one thing I really respected was Jay acknowledging, you know what I mean? That that was the Hall of Fame or something like that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the thing with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah.
And
it's funny because I heard other people saying like, oh, he didn't do enough. I mean, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
That's a fact.
I mean,
That's a fact.
He don't have to do enough. He's in the position he's in, connected to those brothers, Biggs and Dame.
That's a fact.
Dame is in the position he's in, connected to those brothers, Jay and Biggs. I mean, so it's a circulatory process that, you know, you can get caught up in all the ism schisms of it and all the should have been. But at the end of the day,
what it is.
At the end of the day, like a bad relationship, a relationship that goes irie, and a lot of us know this as men, including women.
Yeah. Things
don't happen to you, they happen for you.
That's a fact.
So a lot of times you be sitting around and you trying to make something work, but it's not meant to be worked out because the Heavenly Father, Allah, or the Most High, whatever you call it, Jehovah, yourself, whatever you call it, source energy, is trying to realign you or put you in alignment with something that you really have in your heart and what's really you know, is bringing you forth. And that's where you're seeing Dame is really the happiest probably he's ever been. I've been around him when Rockefeller broke up, and to now I see him as being happy because he's actually, his heart, everything he's doing is a heart alignment. Mm-hmm. How he feels in his heart and things are happening. He has a child, his new son, and he has a lady that loves him. Yeah, you know, he has a lady that actually likes him. You know, she chose him. You know, and you know, he's around the people he wants to be around. He don't have to be around people that he don't really like. Yeah, you know, he can cut them off and get rid of them if he wants to. Yeah. And so that's why, you know, it's very important that we, you know, we stay focused on the balance of life, man, and you know, because everything holds polarity. And so it's not so much about just being one-sided. And, you know, if someone wants to work a job, you know, I have no criticism towards that. Someone wants to try to go independent, I have no criticism towards that. I just say to you, do all you can to educate yourself, do a lot of research, and start at the fundamentals, man. You know, don't jump off into something until you do enough research, you know, and as you're doing research, jump into it. You know, a lot of times research is the education process is the doing. Just like I said with Think and Ball Out, the doing was the education. Yeah. Because I didn't know that you need a graphic designer to do a book. I didn't know you needed to edit a certain type of editor to do one thing, and then you need another type of editor to kind of bring it around, and you know, with the periods and the this and that, you know, it's tricky. It's you know, some things that you know people don't even understand that goes into writing a book, and then how you distribute it. Yeah. How do you market it? You know, and so I just know that, you know, I've been blessed enough to be around some great people, man, and I just ask for the Most High to continue to use me, man, and absolutely people like yourself, and you know, it's going to happen because I'm in alignment, man. My heart is in the right place when I did all this stuff. You know, when you saw his videos, that's all it was. It wasn't no major profits, but it was like I feel fulfilled enough right now. I feel so fulfilled that I gave people something that they needed. Yeah, that I felt like they deserved to see. It was valuable. I was put in a position as a barber to see behind the scenes of this stuff and see these people go through their little things. I was there when Rockefeller was over. I was there the day they found out. And I saw the facial expressions of Biggs and Dame. I didn't see Jay at that time, but I saw Dame and Biggs. Yeah. I saw that, you know, there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of this and that, but you know, like any bad relationship, anything that happens, man, it doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. That's a fact. For everyone involved, by the way, not just on no selfish shit. For everyone involved, it happens for you. You know, and that's the way it works. That's a fact.